Welcome back, everybody. I'm Wayne Hillier. I'm a real estate investing coach in Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm here today with my realtor, my rock star realtor, Calvin Hexter. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through foreclosure properties in Edmonton, Alberta today. I'm very excited for this. I've got an itch. That needs to be scratched. I'm looking at potentially buying a property. I'm looking at buying a property right now in Edmonton that's maybe I can do some strategic renovations to and then sell it for a profit. And I know that foreclosures are a great way to find really, really good deals. And frankly, right now, today in 2026, there is a huge opportunity in the market for foreclosure properties with the interest rates changing, with renewals coming up. And I think everybody knows that, and everybody's really interested in this as well. So Calvin, I don't want to do any big, videos or introductions or anything else. I just want to dive right into this and get right into the meat of it, because that's what people came here for. They want to learn how to find foreclosure properties in Edmonton. So what do you need from me in order to get this search started?
Let's start your search. So let's go with year. What year would you like to stay within for all foreclosure properties?
I mean, ideally, I like lipstick flips. I like stuff that can get in and out really quickly. So I like new properties, but I know that, we're not always going to get lucky and find something brand new that we can just go in and clean or do some strategic repairs. So let's say something newer than 1980 in Edmonton.
Okay. And do we want to stick within Edmonton, or do we want a surrounding area?
I'm open to the surrounding area. So Edmonton, Spruce Grove, Sherwood Park, St. Albert's, Stony Plain, and Leduc.
Okay. And when it comes to property type, whether it's condo, apartment, townhouse, residential, attached, half duplex, single family, full duplex, triplex, fourplex.
I think for this strategy, I'd be open to anything. Let's stay away from condo apartments. Not a big fan of that.
Okay, sounds good. So what we have right now, and before we press the search button, any preference for bedrooms, bathrooms, finished basements, garage?
No, I'm pretty flexible with that. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's just see what kind of pops up. Do you want to share your screen so we can see what it looks like once you're ready?
Okay, so I have the search all set up here for us. We've gone ahead and added everything in and around the Edmonton area.
Okay.
So you can see here. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't capped it by price. We've kept the price open, and we've included all the different property types, minimum year built to 1980. And then we've gone ahead and included court foreclosures, and I'm going to throw in bank foreclosures as well, as those are handled differently, just for viewers. Understand which foreclosures require unconditional offers and which ones will allow you with conditions. That's a big one.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and let's jump into it. So this is a total of 29 properties, and you're going to see a variety. Let's go ahead and throw it on the map here so you can see where they're located. And the clusters of numbers just shows you how many are in that area. So we have 4 in the Spruce Grove area, 6 in the Northeast, a bunch in the West, South. So, foreclosures don't lend itself to one particular property type. Foreclosures don't lend itself to a specific area. They're literally everywhere. I've seen multi-million-dollar foreclosures, like properties that look like the prince would live in them for multiple millions. And so let's go ahead and we can dive into what these look like, and let's see if there's anything that strikes a chord, okay? And so the way we have it set up right now is based on price. So the lowest foreclosure we have is $209,000, and the highest is $1,150,000 in Westmount. Okay,
maybe
so
we'll
quite the
avoid
variety.
the $1 million house if possible. Yeah.
Okay. Let me know where we'd like to start. We can start with our townhouses, or we can start with some single family detached.
Well, I think me personally, like if we can find something that's a little bit newer, that requires less work. Maybe even look at, can we search by age? Is that possible?
Yes.
Maybe something built newer than 2010.
Okay. Yeah, we certainly can. So if we're going 2010, so we're looking
And
here newer. Okay. So we can start in Baldwin.
Okay.
This is a half duplex, 1,400 square feet. The lot is relatively small, 300, and it's a double detached garage. Let's go ahead and we can take a look. I just want to show you where on the map this one's located. We always want to know whether it's on a main street or not, because obviously that's a huge indication of what your ARV could be.
Yeah.
Whether it's near a park, backing onto a cemetery. These are all things that we know that affects it. I'm just going to do a quick little drive-by. So that's what the street looks like.
Okay.
And let's go through. And you know what? This one does not have any interior photos, which is not uncommon for a foreclosure. In cases where it doesn't have any interior photos, usually it's because the unit either just got listed and they're not uploaded yet, or they're occupied. The unit's occupied by either tenants or the previous owner.
Okay.
And so in this case, we do not have anything that would show us the inside.
Okay. Well, I'll just write that one down as a maybe. Maybe we can go and search it. Go check it out. Is it possible to view the property, or is it a sight unseen offer?
This one looks like we can view the home.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we want to take a look at it, we certainly can. Another thing we can do for anybody that really wants to dive into it is you can look for previous listings as well. So if the unit has a previous listing, you can see if there's any recent photos in there to give you a better idea. But unfortunately, in this case, there is no previous photos. But that's another way that you can investigate photos.
Well, we'll put that one down as a maybe. But is there any other newer properties, maybe even something newer, like within the last few years? Like maybe something that like someone bought, but they fell behind on payments. It needs a little bit of work, some touch-ups and things like that. Those are my personal favorites.
Yeah. Why don't we take a look at this one? Looks interesting here. So this one's in Kensington. It's 2018. It's a 2-story townhouse.
Okay.
This one does have condo fees. They don't always. This one has $204 condo fees. It's 1,100 square feet. And it looks like, I mean, Kensington's a fantastic location.
Yeah.
And you can see exactly where it sits in here. So you got a little bit of commercial to your south. But that's okay. You're still in a residential street. This one does have photos. So why don't we take a look?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be pretty new. It's got a single attached garage, is it? It's probably detached. It's in great shape. I can't imagine there's much that needs to be done.
Yeah, with this one, I'm just going to see if there's anything.
Finished basement? Or is that a bedroom? That's a bedroom.
Yeah, this is, and then a finished basement as well. So something like this probably wouldn't offer a much lift for forced equity. It has the detached garage.
Okay.
That's another way that you can add value, as you know, is if it doesn't have a garage, you could always build a garage, and sometimes you can sell it for a little bit more than what you paid to have the garage installed yourself.
I don't see much of an opportunity for lift though. So
no, I don't see it either. Okay, so we can go through another one. These are all new. Let's look into Summerwood. This one recently had a price adjustment. So this is a single family detached home built in 2011, 2-story. It's been on the market for cumulatively 176 days.
Okay.
And anything that's been sitting on the market, I always recommend taking a look at the history. The history will tell you a lot of what's been happening. So you can see here, they've been trying to sell. So the owner purchased in 2021 and then ran into foreclosure in 2025. They started the pricing off at 600, raised it to 629, dropped it to 580, and now they're down to 572, 800. So less than what they purchased it for in 2021. Let's go ahead. Always like to start with the map to see where it sits. Okay, so you are going to have a little bit of noise from this intersection, but you are in this cul-de-sac, which is nice. And with Summerwood, just so you guys can see where Summerwood is, so it's just in Sherwood Park here, which is also very the main roads in these smaller cities tend to take a less of a impact in value than they would if you were in Edmonton on a main street or main avenue.
Do you have a history of how long they've owned it, like when they purchased it?
Yes. Yes, you betcha. 2021 is what it said in the history.
They've owned it for 4 years, or probably, 5 years now, into 2026. But
yeah,
okay,
exactly. And let's see what the condition looks like.
Okay. So
photos only tell you so much, but it goes to say that not every foreclosure is in this depreciated state. Some foreclosures, some very honest, great families live there that have put a lot of love into it, but they've obviously ran into some unfortunate circumstances
right.
that caused them to get behind in their bills, which is why the bank would have taken over the property.
And that's not normally a completely bad thing for us as investors. Sometimes we might be able to just get a really good deal, go in there, clean it, stage it, and then resell it at a better time. Because right now we are in January, at the beginning of January in 2026. It's not exactly the best time to be selling a property. So we might be able to just get a really good deal on it, do some cleanup, and then just sell it for a quick profit. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So, and did you see what price they paid for it in 2021?
Yes, they paid 400. Let's go back to it here. Excuse me, 580,000.
580, and then okay, so
now they're at 572.
Okay, but they probably have paid down some mortgage. It's an interesting thing. So the lender's probably, this is a Court of King's Bench, or is this a bank-owned foreclosure?
This is a court foreclosure.
Okay. Well, we might be able to get a little bit off of this. I mean, I'd be interested to see, what kind of offer we could write to see if we can get a decent deal on it. Even just like paying 530 or 540 and then just holding it for a couple months and then selling it for whatever the market value is in spring when it's better, when there's more buyers. That might get us some fast cash, and not require a whole lot of value add or renovations if it's in good shape. Okay, so do you have any idea roughly what you think we might be able to sell this for in the spring if we were just to do a quick little lipstick cleanup?
Yeah, you know what? It's I just want to double check one more thing here to see if there's anything else that we can do to add lift. Yeah, so the basement is fully finished. Okay. You know what? So this is what we would end up doing is we go through the Summerside community or Summerwood community. We know that this square footage is just over 2,000. So anytime that we're pulling solds, we always want to take the specific community square footage. I only go 150 above the subject property. So at most on something like this, I would do 2,150 square feet. And I would want to keep it within a range of the last 6 months. I mean, if I can go even tighter within the last 3 months and it gives us something that's even better. So yeah, there was 29 and we want to keep it to detached.
Well, could we get a little bit more just for our information? Maybe get closer into like June, July of last year, because obviously we know the prices do dip a little bit during the cold season. It wouldn't hurt to get some.
Yeah, we certainly can go broader. Yeah.
So just for our information.
So this type of home, and I'm just going to put the double attached. The more specific we can make it, the better. So there's 9 total.
Okay.
And to get even more specific, we can even go within year. The year built, I'm not going to go anything newer than 2015. So that puts us down to 4.
Okay.
So that's really going to give us as close of a comparison as possible. The only thing that we're going to have to, layout, location are things that we're going to want to work with. So at the height, it looks like there was one that sold in Summer Court for 630,000.
What month?
And it did sell above. This one sold in November. So relatively recent. We can take a look at it. I always like to start with location. So this one is very, very close to the water. So location-wise, this would be superior.
Yeah.
Love to offer comparisons, especially when this might even have a walkout basement. And it's quite a bit older too. For that reason, I'm just going to skip this one. I just want to take a look at something that might be a little bit more comparable. This one's getting close to backing onto green space. Let me just see what else we got here. So this one here. Okay, so this would be probably a closer comparison. You're closer to some of the main roads here. Square footage wise, you're slightly lower. Year is earlier as well. Given that the subject property is 2011, this one's 2006. And I just want to see, whenever looking at ARV, we want to take a look at the condition and see if it's been fully renovated or not. And then we can compare to it. It looks like it's original. I mean, this, I can't imagine that they did anything to the kitchen since 2006.
Okay.
So something like this, I mean, this one sold for $595,000. And so you'd have to get the subject property, you know, is it worth putting the money in? I think, you know, if you're able to get the subject property at quite the discount, maybe, you know, there could be something there. But again, $595,000, this one has a fully finished basement. It's not renovated, like it's not completely updated, but it doesn't look like it's in bad condition either. So I can see why they probably didn't feel like the need to.
Yeah. Again, not much for a lift or value add, but again, if you can get it for the right price and just hold it for a couple months and just resell it, sometimes you can just flip it real fast without having to do anything. If you've got the capital on hand, or, I mean, if you're looking for a home, you know, especially like if you're looking to buy your first house and you're trying to get a really good deal on the buy, this is a good opportunity to throw out a lowball offer, see if it sticks. And if you do, you can, you know, make 10%, 15% off of list price or what the value should be. So,
and I've actually encountered the situations before, Wayne, where I've viewed the home, the seller's present during the showing. And a lot of times these families don't want to leave. They don't want to leave the home. They want to stay in the home. And there could be a rent back, like a lease back option. So a lot of investors that are listening to this, the lease back, the way it essentially works is the current owner may still want to live in the home, but maybe doesn't have the money to be able to afford capital expenditures, maintenance, those kind of things.
Yeah.
And obviously look into their financial situation to make sure that they can pay the lease, but you might be able to find yourself a really good tenant. We did purchase a property in Northeast, and the family's now been tenanting their family home that the kids grew up in for the last 7 years. And it's been consistent for the last couple, and they've been, you know, very, very grateful. So there's situations like that as well.
Another possibility as well. So back to our subject property, what was the list price again?
Subject property is $572,800.
Okay, so we're going to have to probably offer something significantly lower in order to make some profit off of this, if we're just to flip it really fast. And sorry, just one last question. The comparable that we were looking at that sold for $595, when did that sell?
So that one was in August.
Okay. So we're probably looking somewhere around that 600 range, you know, to be listing for, unless of course we get like a super hot spring market. So I'm probably going to be wanting to see less than 530, 520 in order for this to be a safe investment for me to do a quick flip. But it's definitely worth trying. And I think that's the one thing I'll just kind of close out on here before I make a decision. But, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, they would never accept that. You don't know. And I think that limiting belief that a lot of people have is like, oh, nobody would ever accept that offer, is what prevents people from actually getting really good deals. Sometimes you have to go and write offers, and you never know if someone's going to say yes. And in this situation, this is the Court of King's Bench. This isn't someone that has, like, you know, some emotional attachment to it. You're going to go and you're going to submit an offer in court, and they're going to have a sealed envelope, and then whatever the best offer is, they're going to take. So I'm inclined to write an offer just to see. I'm inclined to write an offer close to $500,000 just to see if we can get a really good deal on it. Worst case scenario, they say no. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I'd be interested to go and actually take a look at this property and maybe a couple other properties if you've got the time, maybe sometime this weekend. And if you guys want to hear more about what happened about this, or you want us to look at more foreclosure properties, let us know, and we'll go from there. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Hey man, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you doing this for me. And let's go check these properties out.
Let's go house hunting.
All right, thanks, buddy.